What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of Seagull and Wolf Talk Theatre. I'm one of your hosts, Alastair, and alongside the old biddy from Brighton again, it's Chloë, pal.
Yay!
Now, I'm going to level with you, Seagull and Wolf audience. We're hungover as all hell. So if we're a bit quiet, if you see me drink this water a lot, sorry, but...
Yeah, we'll pick up a little bit, we're really feeling the effects of celebrating my birthday.
Yeah, it was Chloe's birthday night out along Blackheath Common last night, and it was a mess for all concerned, and it was a great time.
But I did wear a birthday badge all night saying, it's my birthday, and I had a Disney balloon that someone got me.
Oh, jaded.
And it came out with us all night, and people were just so friendly. I loved it. People kept saying happy birthday to me, and I was genuinely that intoxicated that I was surprised every time.
Yeah.
I was thinking, that was nice.
People are very nice. People are very nice in Blackheath. I will give them that.
Really friendly.
There was even like the bar staff, like when they were trying to kick us out of the pub, or whatever, were like very much like,
just super.
Could you please, please do this, please, help me, please.
People in Blackheath are just polite.
Apart from that. So let's go on to the topic of our podcast today, and that is applying to drama school. What to do, how to do it, what to do when you get there, what to do when you leave drama school. And we have a drama school bona fide expert in the house, because Miss Chloë Powell trained at the London School of Musical Theatre.
Hey, the best place ever. I am biased.
Sorry, Ryder.
It is the best place ever. Yeah,
so how was it? What happened? Decent.
I mean, vague question.
No, because I haven't trained in it, so I genuinely don't know what it is. I just sort of do directing, and people just like it. So.
I think that it's definitely a bit of a life-changing experience going to drama school. But I would say that you don't. What are you miming?
Carry on.
I don't think it's. I think it depends on each individual person whether it's necessary for them. Like you were saying, you haven't been, but I know other people that went straight into the industry, and they've just learnt on the job. So I don't think it doesn't suit everybody, but for me it was definitely like a massive, like, life-changing experience, and I learnt so much and met so many awesome people there.
Well, it's really intense, isn't it? Because you're there, like, it's like school, like it's 5 days a week, isn't it? Like, all day, every day. Not like normal uni where you're in like an hour and a half a week, like I seem to be at the moment.
That's the thing, like, I would say, like, you have to be so committed, because when I went there and all my other friends were going off to normal unis, they were like in Freshers Week and like having the best time ever, getting drunk every night, and we were like in bed at 10 because we had ballet at like 8 a.m. or something like that. But at the time you're so serious about it, and you're taking, you're passionate about it, that's just what you do. And obviously you have a lot of fun as well, and you go out on the weekends, but there's also a lot of knuckling down and very physically draining days.
Yeah, a couple of my friends who've been to drama school just come home beaten and exhausted because like you do like 2 hours worth of gym in the morning, don't you, before you just pick up a script or anything, which is just crazy to me. Like I appreciate it. Like, people need stamina to do musical theatre especially, but it's just like, it just sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot of effort. Definitely.
And I think with LSMT, where I went,
Hi, Adrian.
It was... Yay, Adrian, big up Adrian Jekyll's. With LSMT, because it's a 1-year course, unlike some of the other places like Mount View and Arts Ed.
Not that we're slagging off Mount View and
no, they're
wonderful.
Both amazing schools. But because LSMT is for 1 year, it's obviously, they cram a lot into that 1 year.
For the people at home, what are the... I can't even speak properly.
I know,
Right. So, what would you say for like prospective people going to drama school? What are like the do's and don'ts of? I can't fucking do it.
We're really struggling.
So, for the people at home, what are like the do's and don'ts of getting into drama school? Because I know there's a lot of people who would absolutely love to go to drama school, me being one of them. Not to act, God, no one wants to see me act. But like, people really want to go to drama school, but the audition process is obviously so intense, and some of them cost money, and some of them are like, you've got to sing, and then you've got to do a monologue, and then you've got to have like 4 other monologues just in case or whatever, and you've got to dance, and you've got to... So what are your experiences of like auditioning for LSMT? And or in other drama schools if you went for any. Did you go for any of the drama schools?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, for Mount View, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mount View.
Did you get in?
No, we got a recall.
No, right.
Didn't get in.
That's all right. You're lost, maybe.
So from my experience, the auditions were very nerve-wracking, but another thing I'll say is that if you don't get in the first time that you apply, that doesn't necessarily mean you'll never get in. Like for a lot of people, it takes them like a couple of years.
You know,
or
Dustin Hoffman, the actor.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that it took him 10 times to get into drama school, and he's like Dustin Hoffman.
Never give up. And Judi Dench. I think Judi Dench. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. She tried for a lot of years. So it just goes to show, like, you know, sometimes it's not, if you don't get in, sometimes it's not a comment on your ability, it's just that maybe the time isn't right and you need to go out and work a bit in the industry first before you go back and
Do you ever watch that Judi Dench sitcom As Time Goes By?
No.
Oh, it's amazing.
I've not seen that.
It's like, they're like an old couple, and it's her and Jeffrey Palmer, who's like another like Don, and they're just like, they're super rich and they live like in Kensington, and they just like...
Is it comedy?
Yeah, it's just like a easy BBC One like sitcom, and like they go to like the park and like they fall in love and then they fall out of love and they fall in... It's like the cutest thing, and they're so cute together, and Judi Dench is such a wonderful actress. We need to watch that.
No, I'll definitely give that a watch.
I'll post a clip of that on the Seagull Instagram and you can all watch as time goes by. So yeah, auditioning for drama school. So what did you do for your audition? What did you have to do? What did you sing? What were you required to bring to the tabalay? The table? To
the tabalay. So...
I'm so hungover, guys. I'm so sorry.
What did I sing? I think I sung Gimme Gimme from Thoroughly Modern Millie. I remember that being one of my audition songs. It's a nice belty one. I also sung a bit of Girl in 14G, I believe.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I think I did that for drama school. Obviously not the whole song, it's a long song.
I didn't think that was written when you were auditioning for drama school.
Excuse me, I'm not that old. I heard the Kristen Chenoweth version of Girl in 14G when I was like 17, and I was just obsessed with it. I thought it was amazing. Yeah. And I just asked my singing teacher to help me learn it when I was about 17, 18.
So did you have to do both in the audition, or was it just the one?
Yeah. So what they'll do is they hear like a bit of each song. They normally don't hear the whole thing. It will just be a sort of thank you very much, like when you're finished. And
it's like when Simon Cowell, the X Factor, just goes.
Yep, and that's enough now. But also, don't be put off if, you know, they stop you halfway through. It doesn't mean that they don't like what they're hearing. It's just that, I mean, it could have been in my case.
Some people, I think it is. But...
Maybe for some. But, you know, sometimes it's the opposite. They just think, oh, we know that we can hear this person's a good singer, so we're not gonna hear anymore. Because obviously they've, you know, for them it's an intense day because they've got to get through tons and tons of people. Obviously.
God, yeah, I couldn't be asked to do that. I'd get tired like auditioning like 20 people for a show.
Well, when we were doing the Musical Theatre Society stuff and we auditioned people for our showcase...
What a time.
What a time.
What a great
It was so interesting because obviously for us, I don't know about you, but I'd never been on that side of things before.
Yeah, I'd done it a couple of times, obviously, because like
of course,
I direct, but like it's hard when it's your friends. That's what's the awkward thing. Like when I did Rent, with South Staff's musical theatre company, big up. Hi everyone. I love you all. I've lost my train of thought completely.
When you did Rent, you auditioned?
Yeah. When we auditioned for Rent, like they were literally like my family. Like they are my closest friends. And then suddenly I was just there judging them, like with no qualifications. I was 17, no qualifications at all. I was just sat there judging whether I liked them or not in for the role. The
best thing to do, if like in an audition or on stage, just as a side note, is just always remain professional, like even if it goes wrong.
Yeah, don't move your face at all.
Or just kind of pretend that if you sing the wrong words or whatever, just pretend that it's right and that you know exactly what you're doing and that you've not messed it all up.
So Chloe's top tip for acting: be able to act on stage.
Act.
Nice one.
Pretty much.
I'll put that in that's going to be the headline for this video.
Act through every song.
Okay, so did you have to do any like monologues or like reading when you went for LSMT?
I'm not sure that I had to do a monologue for LSMT, but I did for places like Mount View.
Yeah. LSMT are the London School of Musical Theatre, obviously they're not necessarily interested in your big sweeping speeches.
But I would say that, I mean, LSMT obviously produces a lot of good actors, but I think when we auditioned, I'm pretty sure I didn't have to do a monologue, and it was probably just for the reason that, you know, when you're singing, you're acting through song anyway, so they can kind of gauge your acting through that as well.
That's right. What did you do for the Mountview one?
I did something from the play DNA by Dennis Kelly.
Right.
If you've heard of that.
I think I've heard of it. Like, I used to do Lambda sessions with kids.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, I think it was quite common to do for Lambda.
Like teaching like doing little drama games and like that sort of thing. And I think one of the kids did something from that, and I kind of just... those sessions were always on a Saturday morning. So if I'd been out the night before, much like this podcast, I'd like phone it in a bit and just be like, yeah, it's really good. You just need to work on like, and just give them like a really general note. And then he would go away for like 20 minutes and come back and be like, you've really worked on that, well done, because you can go home now. Because I was so tired, like,
ever.
God. So you did DNA?
Yeah, I did DNA, and
do it for us now. Go.
I mean, let's not on this hangover. I think one thing though, when I auditioned for Mountview, and you got to watch other people do their auditions, which is quite nerve-wracking.
I don't think I'd like that.
It's the monologues, but I kind of think in a way it's really helpful looking back on it, because when you watch everyone else perform theirs, you get really kind of taken in by other people's pieces, and like, it's a bit inspiring, do you know what I mean? Like, if you get somebody that's amazing and you just watch them, and I remember obviously I was quite young, like 18 or something, just watching some other people in my audition and thinking, you know, getting like tips from watching other people do their stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably a good thing. And also, like, it's nerve-wracking, but sometimes you need that pressure to sort of...
Yeah, like, I guess it can go one of two ways for people. Like, they either get inspired, like you say, or they just...
Or it's just terrifying, yeah.
They're just like, oh, this person's sick and I'm not that good, and that's the end of my chances. And that,
I guess you just got to like
that so much.
not let other people put you off and just kind of enjoy their stuff. But then, you know, once you get up, you can't have any sort of doubts about yourself in your mind. Like, it's hard not to. Like,
well, you really always do, don't you? Like, whatever you're doing, you always have a doubt in your mind.
Of course. But one thing, you know, we were talking about being like auditioning people for the showcase at uni. And how saying it's weird being on that side of things and being on the other side of the table. One thing that was quite reassuring to know is that everybody, it was weird seeing your friends like being a bit nervous and like coming in you know, because I think when you go into an audition, it is so nerve-wracking that you think that you must be like the only person that like gets nervous, and you have this weird idea that everyone else goes into their auditions like so like, you know, full of it. But I don't know. I just always had that weird idea. But it's nice.
Is that how you go into your auditions, tossing your hair? You walk in and go,
no. I go in and I'm like, hi.
God. I don't audition anymore.
But yeah, so I think it's just nice to know that everybody feels the same when they walk into a room of people.
Everyone's
so
equal.
Being on the side of auditioning people makes you like, you know, less nervous when you go to do it again yourself, because you just think you know exactly how everyone's feeling. So. Yeah.
Well, did you have to pay for your auditions?
Yeah, you do have to pay for drama school auditions.
That winds me up, that does, because like it's been quite a hot topic recently. Like, RADA charge like 80 quid for an audition. And there's four.
Really?
Yeah, and there's 4 rounds. So if you get to the end, they've made like 160, 200 quid off you, like before you've even turned up
I'm
at the
not
gaff.
sure that I like that.
It's really, like, I find it, like, I understand that you have to pay for their time, but 80 quid sounds a bit
and
like...
they pay 80 every single round?
Every single pupil, every single round.
Like 80 quid per round is way too steep, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
like, how can they recall you and say, we want to see you again, but you have to pay us again? I think that's a bit...
It's like, I understand if it's like 10 or 20 or something like that.
Yeah, more understandable.
Because the accumulated money that you'll get is great. Like, that'll pay for the tutor's time and the room and like whatever. But 80 quid, you're just making a profit for no reason. And it's just like, well...
Yeah, maybe that's why, like, there's been those famous stories about people that go to RADA trying like 10 years to get in. Maybe it's because they're just making...
This actor's really good, but they're also loaded, so let's drag it out.
Let's just drag it out and make loads of money.
Right. Okay, so you've got into drama school. Now what? What is an average day at drama school like? What do you do?
So the day at a drama school is split into 3 parts. So you got your singing, your dancing, your acting. I mean, if you're doing musical theatre, obviously, not straight drama. Usually we start, I think it varied, but we usually started with dance or singing. No, dance or acting, and then had singing in the afternoon.
I was going to say, don't do singing in the morning, like, that'd be gross.
And then we always had a performance class each week, which was in the afternoon, or say like a Friday or something. And it would give us an opportunity to get up and practice some of our acting through song in front of each other. Okay. And we used to have people that worked in the industry come in and do the workshops, performance class workshops with us sometimes, which was really, really interesting.
That's cool. Who did you have come in to work with you? Do you remember?
So I actually remember John Robbins came in, who was in... he's been in...
Memphis or something. I think I saw him.
I also saw him in the last 5 years at the Brighton Fringe with Danielle Hope a few years ago.
That was good. What was that?
Yeah.
When was that? I was trying to think.
2 or
last
3
5 years
years
hasn't been
ago.
on. Like it's recently been on in London, but it hasn't been on like...
Oh no, on the Fringe.
Around,
though.
yeah, like it hasn't been on like around the area recently though, has it? Apart from that one at the St James.
Yeah, I don't think so, no.
No.
But it was an amazing production, and it was just interesting because when John Robbins came into LSMT, he workshopped climbing uphill from the last 5 years with me.
That's good. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine you doing that. To be fair, I can imagine you as a Cathy.
Oh, cheers, mate.
It's all right, Bab. Don't worry about it. So, gone.
I also remember we had Norma Atala. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And she came in and did a few with us, and she was just brilliant. She was like absolutely crazy, and she used to get people like doing their songs and like rolling around on the floor or like running around the room with their arms wide open like as they were singing. And it sounds ridiculous.
It does.
But it kind of, I mean, it was ridiculous. Yeah. But it's hilarious, and also it kind of breaks the ice in the session and helps you to kind of, it shows as well sort of how like uptight like people can get when they're singing.
Yeah.
I did it all the time, like you're so like focused on what you're doing that you're standing there and like you're forgetting to act sometimes because you're so like trying to sing every note right, whereas the most important thing I learned from LSMT was really just how important the acting is. Like almost the acting has to come before the comes before the singing because
it should do like anywhere, like because it's not a concert, is it? It's a
Exactly. And I mean, as long as you're in tune, as long as I feel like even if you hit a bit of a bum note or your voice cracks, if you're acting through it, then it doesn't matter on stage.
There's like a load of shows now that like it doesn't necessarily matter if you don't exactly hit the right note because they are more performance pieces, they're more sort of acting.
I mean, obviously it's like preferable if you hit the right note.
Yeah, try. If you go for a drama school audition, don't sing out of tune and say that Alastair and Chloë told you it was fine because you were acting at the same time. But like, yeah, don't do that. I think those performance classes were essential in our training. And it wasn't just the singing classes that emphasised the importance of acting, it was the dance ones as well. Yeah. They all of our dance workshops with Chris and Mark, they just, they were almost acting workshops. We had to really, really get into the stuff that we were doing. Okay. I remember one week we did a dance workshop around Ghost, the music from Ghost the musical. It was really emotional. Like people didn't think they would get emotional, but it was really... Yeah. We were all paired, and it was this really like lyrical, contemporary. Did you do like the pottery wheel thing, where like the ghosts like behind you? That's really creepy.
But that would have been hilarious.
That would have been something. Speaking of hilarious, what like, because obviously there's that. How many people are in your year at LSMT? Like 20, 25, 30, something like that.
I think it was about 40.
That was a big year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or is that a standard year? I don't really know.
Is it what? Sorry.
Is that like a standard year or?
Yeah, I think so. I think they normally have... I mean, obviously, don't quote me on that. They probably have a slightly different number each year, but I'm sure in my year there was about 30 to 40.
So what was it? So what were like the funny times that you had with your year? Like, do you still speak to many of them? Like, because obviously it was 20 million years ago because you're so old. So.
I mean, only about 5.
Okay. So yeah. Do you still like meet up with them, get on with them? Like, what was the vibe like?
Yeah. So our year was a really supportive year. I think LSMT is just like a little family. So everyone is really supportive, and I've heard that in other years as well, because your flatmates go there now.
Yeah, my
don't they?
flatmates go there now, and they say that Adrian, who's like the principal, is like the daddy, and then like they all kind of just bend to his will and like do that, you know, like that sounds like he's like an evil warlord or something.
He's
like,
lovely.
He's really nice. I've met him. He's really nice. Yeah, so yeah, but there is like that family atmosphere as far as I can tell.
There really is. I think because it's such a small school, you do get that intimate atmosphere, and I think it works really well, like in terms of the teaching, because obviously you probably get more attention, like one-on-one attention, than if I'm assuming than if you were at a drama school where there was like hundreds in a year.
Which is what all actors crave, attention.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all you need.
To feed their ego.
Gosh. And what's this thing about a goose? Because my flatmate Jess tells me there's like a goose in this drama school, and I can't for the life of me work out like what the story is.
It's the drama teacher, Sue, has a goose, like a...
It's like a fake goose, isn't it? It's like a plastic goose.
And I think there's this thing called, like, you can come and kiss the goose in like a ceremony, like if she picks you out as like one of those star actors.
Yeah, because Jess kissed the goose.
Did she?
Yeah, Jess kissed the goose. And I was like, what?
Sweet.
Like, this is weird.
That's an achievement. I hope she puts that on her CV.
I kissed a goose once at a drama school.
No, Sue's goose.
Oh, well, if it's Sue's goose, then yeah, all right.
For singing at LSMT, we had a group session with the wonderful Tony, who's a ledge. And we'd be pulled out of the lesson to have like individual singing lessons at the same time.
Okay.
So one time we had to do all these warm-ups with Tony that we sort of learned as the year went on. And I'd gone out to have my singing lesson, and I came back and we were just doing this warm-up that I'd never like seen before, never done. And it was about breath control, and I'm trying to think what the exact one was. So I think he was asking everyone to say something on a certain note. Like, you know when you make up a sentence, but you might be like, ma, 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 ma,
nice.
but to a sentence or whatever. But there was this specific, I can't remember exactly, but there was a specific sequence that you had to follow. Like, It wasn't just like, you couldn't just say any old words. And I just sort of rushed in, and it got to me, and I just went, I like cats. And everyone was like, sorry? And I just remember the whole class was like, everyone was pissed themselves for like good 20 minutes. Even Tony was like crying. And he was like, what are you doing, you stupid girl? And but like in an endearing way.
Yeah.
But
SMT's not like a boot camp.
No.
So, yeah.
But I don't even know, like, I just had a bit of a mare, and then I just got known as Cat Girl for the whole year, and I am a cat enthusiast, so it kind of suits me.
Right.
But that was potentially the most, like, cringy thing that I did.
You know, I'm gonna
well, actually, it's probably not.
You know, I'm going to call you Cat Girl now on every episode.
Yeah, I think you did.
I'm going to change your intro name to Cat Girl, Chloë Powell. Oh my god. So yeah, that's drama school, guys. If you've got any other questions about what drama school's like, stick them in the comments below and we'll try and pop in and answer them.
Hope that's been slightly maybe helpful to anyone that's thinking of applying or going and just wanted to know a bit more.
Yeah, just go. Like, as far as I can tell, people who go to drama school have a much stronger basis of actually getting into the industry. Like it seems like it's a lot more work to try and do it by yourself.
I think it just depends. Like, it can work. Like I said, like, people go straight into the industry, and if you're lucky enough to do that without training, then I guess why not just stay in the industry if you're getting the jobs. But I would say it's just invaluable, like, training. Yeah. So if you get in and you're passionate about going, then do it and just put everything into it. Like, just put your life and soul into the drama school, and you'll get so much out of it. That sounds cringy, but...
Well, it doesn't really matter. So guys, that was the second episode of Seagull and Wolf Talk Theatre. Remember that on the 1st of October we have a gig at the Amersham Arms in London. It's our first musical theatre showcase. We're making a load of money so we can go and do some cool shows.
Yeah.
So come on down. You can buy tickets online at our website, seagallandwolf.com. Which will work this week.
Yes.
It will work. Nikki P will sort it. Big up Nikki P.
So get your tickets, get excited for that. and we probably won't. That was so dramatic. We probably won't get excited. We probably won't be hungover the next time we do this. So
no, we'll be hungover like the day after the concert, but like the actual day.
I mean, the podcast. I mean,
oh yeah,
we're going to be nice and fresh-faced next time. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. We will be loving life at that point. Okay, thanks so much for watching this week, guys.
Bye, guys.
We will see you next week.
Bye.